today it's going to be all about the before and after. So I'm really concentrating right now on fall prep because I want to get things the way at a certain level so that when I get back from my travels, I will have a window of time where I think things look really good and I just have a little bit of minor zhuzhing to do. So that is what I'm concentrating on right now, and I am still working through the before. So as always, I have to show you my uglies. I think I show you my uglies more than my pretties. Because I want you to see the process. Now, definitely gardens are never finished, but mine does get to the point where sometimes I feel like it's kind of finished. And that's my question of the day. Do you have moments in time where you feel like your garden is really beautiful and kind of finished, or at least kind of finished for the season? You've gotten most of your projects out of the way. You may have pumpkinized, you may have put out your annuals, whatever that kind of thing is. But for a moment in time, you kind of feel like it's finished for the season. Well, that's what I'm going for. Starting with a bunch of things that are getting a little bit of a makeover and getting refreshed. Now, I alluded to this in another video Stuart and I shot with talking about Giraffe Tools, because I'm going to try out their pressurized washer, and I'm going to try it on my back stoop. Now, I'm just going to see kind of how it works, but I'll be honest, I don't mind the way my back stoop looks, and I really like the moss on it. I'm really going to keep it for other projects, but as part of my kind of makeover to freshen things up and tidy things up, I'm going to pressure wash the back steps, and then I am going to kind of reposition and do a little bit of recomposition on my plant stand, on my 3-tier plant stand. And by the way, you guys, these 3 pots of beautiful dragon wing begonias, all of those started from cuttings that I took earlier in the season. And while they always look limp and they complain a lot when you first plant them, after a while they do their thing and they really look beautiful. So I will stage the back porch. Pumpkins may or may not arise. Probably won't be doing as much pumpkinizing this year as I normally do, because we're going to be gone at various weddings. Okay, here's the other area. So I'm actually taking my own advice, and if you have an area where things don't want to grow or it's kind of difficult, and they also create an opportunity, then do more of something you have done before. And that more for me is when I couldn't get anything to grow in the bistro, ground cover and things of that nature, then I put some herringbone brick over there. I've got my hose out now because we're in the process of doing some stuff. And then over in the foreground, in the distant Stuart, when I didn't like the way it looked in front of that bench that sits back in the hydrangeas, I also laid some brick in kind of a herringbone pattern with some gravel. And I so loved both the looks of it, the textural quality of it, the organic composition of it, and how it spoke to other design elements in my house, that I decided, okay, well, why not do that again somewhere? So this area here, where I took out that big U that had been here forever, really opened this area up and created the opportunity of just more negative space, easier navigation on my dining gravel deck, and just made this entire gravel area feel larger and a little bit more spacious. So but I wanted to do something a little bit interesting here. So I think what I'm going to do is, and I probably need to maybe get a few more bricks, which, by the way, Stuart's laughing at me. Are you laughing at me?
I'm getting attacked over here and the camera's shaking, so I want to apologize about the shaky camera because I'm trying to keep mosquitoes off and do this. My bad.
Yes, and I see it right there, Stuart.
Get it. Did you get it?
I don't know, but I tried.
They're getting me. They're over
But
here.
I tried. Okay, well, we'll move from here. There's not much of a breeze today. So I'm going to do that same herringbone brick pattern in here. I may need to get a few more 68-cent bricks at Lowe's to do that. As always, I'm kind of stealing from Peter to pay Paul. I've got a few aged bricks and I've got some flagstone. But when this is all level and kind of top dressed with gravel the way I like, it will look very much organic to this area and as if it's been here forever. And then I will have a little bit more space and I will like the way it looks, and it will repeat design features I already have in my landscape in the back. It will be an inexpensive, effective, and good design solution for this space. So that's a before thing. And I'm working on some stuff over here. I still need to move that amaryllis pot in because it's time to quit watering your amaryllis, as I told you earlier, and try to force them to bloom at another time. So that's kind of that area. And all of this is messy, and I am going to clean it up and zhuzh it and get those steps staged. I've just been, don't you hate it when people always talk about how busy they are? But I've been kind of busy this week, and I haven't had an opportunity to get to these areas yet. But I shall. Stuart, do you trust me on that?
I do, actually.
Do you believe me on that? Okay, the ongoing fall tableau, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear tableau of this area continues. So I said I was going to wait to plop in some seasonal color, but I was out and about and I saw some of the smaller mums that I like, and I've decided to go with kind of a purple pop of color because I like the way it looks with some of the purple coloration and the golden coleus. And so this is going to actually be, it may sound yucky, but I think it's going to be striking. I'm going to go with an fiery orange, this purple, and then the color in the foliage. And consequently, I got some autumn fire sedum, and I still have some spray painting to do on this. And by the way, when I asked that question, should I or shouldn't I spray paint, that very much, I got a 50-50. There was a 50-50 split on that. Some people said that they thought it really didn't make any difference because I was going to have a similar combo in all of the containers. Some people were like me and they said, yes, that would bother me, so they need to all be painted the same. So I've got that as a project. But now I have most of the ingredients anyway. And because I'm so impatient, I had to see what they were going to turn out looking like. And so I always say, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to do this, and then I don't because I am just not patient and I like instant gratification. So Stuart, let's move over here where maybe there's not as many mosquitoes. Can't promise though.
I'm trying so hard. This is the worst they've been the whole year.
I know, they haven't been very bad. So this is some of that same herringbone pattern, and I want to show this to you because I also want to answer a question that I get repeatedly. That is this laid over plastic or on a bed of anything? And no, if you look underneath here,
yeah, like
you
right
can
here,
see exposed dirt where I need to add a little bit more gravel. And so no, I just level it so that by the time the brick is laid, it will lie flush with the surrounding terrain. But I have no plastic. I don't like to use plastic if I can avoid it. And so there is no plastic undergirding to this. On the big dining deck, when we did this broad expanse years ago, we put crushed gravel underneath and then the pea gravel on top. But there is no other substrata to that. So for those of you that are new and haven't heard me say that ad nauseum before, that's the answer to that. Stuart, you're such a trooper, putting up with these mosquitoes. So I wanted to kind of show you that this is how I did it, and then also how how the stones are intermingled with the brick, because that is how my house is. That's what it looks like on my house when my house was built. Okay, so so Stuart, if you don't mind doing a slow but ugly pan of the dining deck, the bistro, and that whole area. So this is the before. And hopefully, in the not too distant future, Stuart and I will shoot the after. Now the mosquitoes are bad today, but the light is pretty, Stuart.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I think they're not as bad over here. Something about that area.
Yeah, probably. You know, I'm so fortunate. The mosquitoes don't like me, and also that my allergies all tend to be indoor allergies, not outdoor allergies. So I am very fortunate in that respect. I have not showed you this before or pointed it out explicitly before, but I want to on this little before and after walkabout, because this is a topiary that I am putting together. This is all growth from 1 year. This is a Bustani plant that I got called variegated caprosma. And I got this at Bustani.
Show us the back one more time.
Okay, and we did a video on this. And what it does is it puts out long branching and long tendrils.
And it has come a long way.
It's come a long way, and I have just wound them around this tutor, which, by the way, will be in my Linda Vater QVC collection next year. And I like it because these parts separate. So this section is independent from this section, which is independent from this section. And there's a number of different reasons why that was important to me, but we'll talk about that later. But this I'm going to continue to work on, and it got a little bit crispy. You can see how some of the leaves in that 115-degree weather complained some, but now it's starting to produce new green growth, and I anticipate that now that I think it's safe for me to probably feed it again, I will do that, and I'm hoping that by the end of the growing season, this will be completely full. And yes, I will have to bring it in, but it is definitely well worth the effort. Part of my, as kind of ugly as it is, it needs to be done, the work that's already been done is cutting the wisteria off of my neighbor's fence that was starting to encroach over the top, and I have done that, so that will not look so damaged and so brutalized shortly by the time we get back from our trip. And then this is going to be the big, oh, here's another before and after. So all of my pots of begonias, you can see. Do you hear my knees pop when I bent down, Stuart?
That's me.
So all of these begonias have gotten leggy, and you can see all of the stems and the leaves that's tired and hot. And so what I'm going to do is freshen this up just by kind of deadheading and shortening these branches and removing a lot of the dead, and just by doing that it will look fresher. Probably need some clippers to do some of these. And then I will give it a good feed, and these will flush out with beautiful new growth and lots of flowers and be gorgeous in the cooler temperatures of fall. And it's ironic that to me, but increasingly apparent, that in Oklahoma, a lot of the annuals that are sold as summer annuals, and a lot of the vegetables that are sold as summer vegetables, summer producers, really don't do much in summer here because it's just too hot and dry. But boy, in the fall, when the temperatures finally get cooler, then that's when I get my good crop of, say, tomatoes, or when these pots and hanging baskets look their best, whereas right now they just look kind of tired. But I will do a makeover on my pots and hanging baskets. See the difference? Just in the difference of this section that I've already done, Stuart?
Let me get a little further back on it.
Yeah, this section that I've already pinched out, and this in the back that I haven't, and all of the new pretty fresh growth that's underneath.
Very pretty.
And that will now have the light and the resources.
There's the shade a little.
Yeah, there's the
kind
shade.
Of.
The light and the resources to flush back out and be beautiful. And I don't mind sacrificing some of the buds on the end because I'm not going to be here anyway. And by the time I get back, hopefully this will flush out and have all sorts of blooms on it. And Stuart asked me to point out, because he's always looking out for me, that I make sure to tell you that you guys know that I will be out of town in Singapore at my son's wedding, but also that there will be lots of people here staying at my house, taking care of the garden and things. So I feel very secure and very confident that things will be taken care of while I'm gone.
Which will allow us to share your vacation too.
Well, to share my vacation, because I know, and you guys have commented too, do I worry about sharing that information that I'm going to be gone with all of you?
We think about it.
And I do from a safety and a security standpoint, but also I also know that I've got a pretty good security system and lots of people who will be here coming in and out to keep an eye on it. And also my neighborhood is very good. We all let one another know when we're going to be out of town, so we keep an eye out. Okay, now this is the biggest area that will have hopefully a dramatic before and after. I put up a short and a reel on Instagram of me clipping the back, and that was actually one from last year. I put it up just so that you would get the idea that it's the time to do that if temperatures in your area have cooled down enough, and I'm going to be doing it this week. I also think I've looked at the 10-day forecast, Stuart, and I think I'm pretty safe to go ahead and really remove the tarp and take it down 100%, not just lower it, but actually take it down. So I think I may do that this weekend. And then the next time you see this, all of this boxwood, which has so really improved and grown out, all of this boxwood will look that much better. It will be clipped and beautiful, and the dead will be taken out of the arborvitae, and I'll be thinning out and cutting back some stuff, and this will all be staged and be beautiful, I think, for fall. So this may be the biggest before and after of the backyard that you guys hopefully will enjoy along with me. So there you go, and make sure to visit my website, because we're finally giving it an overhaul and dedicating some time and energy and showing it some love. And there'll be all sorts of features that you guys are going to want to check out. One of them being, I'm going to start doing a Southern Living Plant of the Month. And right now, I think for September, it's already on there? Mm-hmm. Okay, for September, it's going to be this orange rocket Southern Living plant that you guys know I love so much, and it's already started doing its thing and turning this fabulous, fabulous color, which is just great in flower arrangements and in the garden. Stuart, I think that pretty much sums it up. Have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so.
I know you guys prefer to see me actually working in the garden, but I have a little date with Hubs, and so we're going to go out and do some things and have some fun. So there you go. There is my before and after overview of the backyard. Well, if you have held on to the end, here is my outfit of the day from top to bottom. My earrings are just some old French hoop earrings I've had for forever and ever and ever. And my necklace is one that my sister and I, we both made one for ourselves. We had these Coptic crosses, and then we put them on the end of some beads that we found in one of our favorite stores in Salida, Colorado. My top it's actually a dress, and I don't do a lot of fast fashion, and by fast fashion I mean like places that manufacture things very quickly at a very low cost and quite frequently end up discarded or worn only a few times. I have had this dress for forever, and it came from Forever 21, so it was kind of a quality item that I got from a place that I guess you would consider to be fast fashion. But I've worn it a myriad different ways. It looks really cute with just tennis shoes and stuff, but today I am wearing it almost as a long top over my jeans of the week, my skinny jeans that I have been wearing for this week. And my bracelet is one that I got, I don't know where, from some shop on some trips. And I think, oh, and my shoes, yeah, these are fun wedge shoes, and I do not know where I got these. I've had them for forever and ever and ever, but I love them. I think maybe Dillard's, but wherever their provenance, I do like them. I've had them for years and I wear them a lot, and now it's time for me to go get a pedicure. So there you go. There is my outfit of the day.